Today I'm going to be making a journey to eastern Ukraine, travelling on board the amazing Ukrainian railways. We'll be riding from Odessa, the Black Sea resort city, through the entire country overnight to arrive into Kharkiv in Ukraine's eastern regions. I've booked myself into a private sleeping compartment for the 13-hour overnight trip, so join me to see what it's like to ride the rails in Ukraine. Welcome to sunny Odessa, Ukraine's third largest city. I'm just outside the beautiful main station here, ready for my journey to the east of the country. Odessa is busy during the summer, with the Black Sea city attracting tourists from all over Ukraine and abroad. I'm running a little bit late today, for reasons I won't go into, so let's head inside and have a look around. This amazing station building was opened in 1952 and was refurbished in 2006. Here in the main hall, you can find timetables up the wall. A little further down, there's a large waiting room, which rather thoughtfully has ice creams on sale to help cool you down. Walking past a few small shops, let's head out to the platforms and find my train. Odesa-Holovna has 10 tracks for passenger trains, and rather unusually for major Ukrainian stations, it's a terminus station too. This station sees trains to many destinations. Services run to pretty much every major city in Ukraine. Additionally, a daily train operates from the city to Tiraspol and Chisinau in Moldova, as well as an overnight sleeper service to Przemysl in Poland. My train will be number 270, the Chaika service from Odessa to Lysychansk. This train departs from track 4 and is already waiting on the platform for boarding. The platform is full of holidaymakers, so it's a bit of a task to get through the crowds and reach my carriage. This is number 2, towards the very front of the train. Trains in Ukraine are operated by the national operator, Ukrzaliznytsia. This translates as Ukrainian Railways. Most carriages are painted in this iconic blue livery, with a yellow stripe, of course a reference to the Ukrainian national flag. Our locomotive today is a powerful two-part electric loco, dating back to 1978. This is VL80 T1804, which was last overhauled in 2010. One of the good things about Ukrzaliznytsia is that they keep their older locomotives working in good condition, and this veteran machine is no exception. By the way, this service has a name, Chaika. This means seagull in English, which seems like a strange choice of name. Anyway, let's get on board and find my bed for tonight. All long-distance trains in Ukraine have a dedicated attendant for each carriage, known in Ukrainian as a providnik. I was having a bit of trouble reaching my door, as some of the fellow passengers were throwing flower petals at each other, for some reason. Eventually I got through, and the providnik checked my ticket on my phone, which I had purchased online some weeks before. Now time to climb on board and see my home for the next 13 hours. I'm travelling in a Kupe carriage, the equivalent of second class. The carriage features 9 rooms, each containing 4 beds. We'll properly explore this cosy room later on in the video, but for now, let's take a look at our route. Today's route sees us heading northeast across Ukraine, passing through Kropyvnytski, Znamyanka, Kremenchuk and Poltava on the way to the country's second largest city, Kharkiv. The journey is scheduled to take 13 hours and 13 minutes to cover 758 kilometres, or about 471 miles. Our train departs on time at 19:21, to much fanfare from the crowd on the platform. Even the driver of the adjacent service is enjoying it. The trip out of Odesa-Holovna is slow, with the station facing south despite almost all services running north. After leaving, we can see Odessa passenger carriage depot, where just some of Ukrzaliznytsia's thousands of carriages are based. On our way out of the city, we pass through various commuter stations. This is Odessa-Mala, a local station for commuters and day trippers alike. Once out of the centre and making our way north, we begin to speed up, getting a first look at the bright sunset we'll be enjoying for the next hour or so. The area around Odessa features many freight yards, which makes sense given the port in the city is the largest in Ukraine and one of the biggest on the Black Sea. So, let's take a look around the compartment here on Ukrzaliznytsia. The room consists of 4 beds, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. During the daytime, the top bunks can be folded out of the way to allow for more space. The centre of the room features a table. The tablecloth on it is adorned with Ukrzaliznytsia's logo. Luggage storage on these trains is plentiful, with room under your bed, including a secure area that you sleep on top of. Even more room can be found above the corridor, which is normally used to store blankets and bed sheets, but we'll get to sleeping arrangements later tonight. Next to each bunk you can find a small net, perfect for fitting a bottled drink in the night. And by the window, each passenger gets a single European-style plug socket. A very cosy reading light is provided just above this. The overall room lighting has 2 settings, and is controlled by this panel next to the door. As well as the bright option, there's also a dimmer setting. With the sun having nearly set, it's about time to get ready for bed. But first, I decided to have a cup of tea. Drinks on Ukrzaliznytsia are very fairly priced, costing just 10 Ukrainian hryvnia. It's also served in this really cool metal cup, a tradition on railways in this part of the world. Bedding is stored up above the corridor and on the top bunk. You'll find a small mattress wrapped around a pillow, which easily unfurls to form your bed. Once the sheets are applied, you're left with a pretty decent looking place to spend a night. The pillows are soft and comfortable, with the bed itself being well padded. The sun has now set, with just a little light remaining before darkness, so let's take a look around the carriage. The corridor is pretty wide and features a few fold down seats that you can use if you fancy a look out the other side. Both ends of the carriage feature a toilet. This is actually a modern and clean vacuum style toilet, which I was surprised to see given this is a slightly older carriage. It must have been recently refurbished. In here you can find a soap dispenser, albeit a nearly empty one. The water was also working fine. Overall, the toilet was clean and working well, so great job. In case of hot weather, there is air conditioning, but I prefer the opening windows for ventilation. The windows also have 2 sets of blinds, a sun blind for reducing glare, and a blackout blind for privacy in the night. Lastly, the door has a big handle that enables you to lock it. There's also a latch, but the door didn't shut far enough to allow me to use it. That's just about everything until morning, so I decided to spend a few hours relaxing in bed before going to sleep around 22:15, with the train slowly pulling in to Voznesensk. I awake around 6 AM, having had a decent 8 hours of sleep. This station is Poltava-Pivdena. The city of over 250,000 people has 2 stations, with Pivdena or South Station being mostly used by commuter trains. Nearby Kijivska is the main stop for long distance trains. We pull out of Poltava at this early hour, now with just a couple stops until we arrive at Kharkiv. Throughout the night, we've had a few changes of locomotive. These normally happen at major depots, so that each region can keep its own locomotives nearby. Now on to how much this journey cost. For this trip, I pre-booked my ticket online for convenience, though there's no advance purchase savings to be had. The ticket, including the optional extra bedding, cost me 818 Ukrainian hryvnia. I think this is fantastic value for money, for both a comfy bed and a relaxing, time-efficient journey. Admittedly, I bought all 4 beds in the room to make filming easier for me, but I still think this represents great value. We make one last brief stop in the city of Lubotin. This is a small city with just 20,000 residents. This stop means we are roughly half an hour away from today's destination. After a while, you can see an Elektrichka commuter train on the embankment, a sure sign that we're approaching Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, located in the country's east. The train pulls into Kharkiv-Pasazhyrskyi, the main station here, just a few minutes behind schedule at 08:37. Overall, I really enjoyed my trip on Ukrzaliznytsia. The train was really comfortable, well priced, and the staff were happy to help, despite the language barrier. As always, let me know what you thought of the Ukrainian railways. If you enjoyed this journey, then I'm sure you'll also enjoy the video displayed on screen now.